The Coen Brothers are arguably the greatest movie writing and directing duo that we've ever gotten, but when they decide they want to go off and make their own little side projects, it doesn't always result in a slam dunk. So how did this latest film turn out? Not great, unfortunately. Honey Don't is the latest solo movie directed by Ethan Coen, and it follows Honey O'Donoghue, a small-town private investigator, as she delves into a series of strange deaths that are tied to a mysterious church. So like any big film fan, there are a lot of movies from the Coen Brothers that I absolutely love. No Country for Old Men is pretty much cemented in my top 10 of all time, honestly. Raising Arizona, Fargo, The Big Lebowski, which I'm forever grateful popularized the White Russian. But the list goes on and on when you look at this ridiculous amount of hits they've had over the course of their career. It doesn't take some kind of a rocket scientist to realize that I'm only mentioning the films they've worked on together, though. Their solo outings are a little bit of a different story, because I think it's becoming pretty clear which one of them actually has the juice when they're behind the camera, and which one should just stick to manning the typewriter. So when I sat down to watch this movie, I wasn't really expecting all that much after getting Drive Away Dolls last year, and unfortunately, Ethan Coen pretty much offers up the exact same subpar quality of film again this time around with Honey Don't. When it comes to the story they decided to go with, what you've got here is a pretty run-of-the-mill whodunit murder mystery and small-town conspiracy plot. The narrative is filled with strange and quirky characters, there's some mysterious church pulling the strings, and there's plenty of turmoil amongst all of the residents to go around. But this is one of those movies that somehow finds a way to do too much and also not enough at the same time. Clearly the script needed another pass or 7, because there are so many random story threads crammed into this 90-minute film, and they didn't know which one to focus on, so they decided to just do all of them for some reason. Like seriously though, if you took a shot every time they chose to change the mystery at hand or pull our main character in an unrelated direction, it would probably be the most deadly drinking game ever created. It's all just super messy and unfocused in that regard, and much like Ethan Coen's previous film, it comes across like a roughed early draft of a Coen Brothers movie, or a cheap knockoff more than anything else. Not a good sign when you want to prove that you can make competent films on your own. When it comes to the performances in this movie, there are a lot of well-known names making up the cast that should have no problem carrying this story from beginning to end. Margaret Qualley is our lead, teaming up with Ethan Coen once again, and she does a good job coming off as a likable character, even if her performance won't go down as anything all that memorable. There's some alright supporting work from Aubrey Plaza and Charlie Day, but the one who really shines here is Chris Evans as this charismatic but predatory church leader. Now, being from Boston, I've always had a soft spot for Chris Evans, but I also have no problem admitting that I think no one has had a worse post-MCU acting career than him. It's pretty much been stinker after stinker, which is why I'm happy to say that he kinda delivers the goods here. He doesn't have nearly as much screen time as he should, but his chaotic and charming slimeball energy fits right into a project like this. Obviously, it kind of makes me wish he were utilized in a movie where both brothers were collaborating together and giving him their best stuff to work with, but he's still easily the high point of this film when it comes to the performances. Let's spend some time getting into the actual humor in this movie, because every Coen Brother adjacent film has a lot of rapid-fire jokes riddled throughout the projects, both the subtle and the in-your-face type. There's a bunch of jokes and recurring gags in Honey Don't that probably seemed a lot funnier when they were written down on the page, but just didn't translate all that well to being said out loud for some reason. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are a few good laughs sprinkled in here from time to time, especially surrounding the more dark comedy aspects of the whole murder investigation that's going on, which Ethan Coen has always been successful with in his past work, but there were just a lot more misses than hits this go around. At the end of the day, I vibe a lot more with the humor that he comes up with when his brother is his writing partner instead of his wife, Trisha Cook. She joined forces with him on his last film, this film, and they have another one in the works to close out this trilogy of lesbian B-movie comedies they've been making. Their material isn't exactly speaking to me all that much, but if something's funny, it's funny no matter what, and this project just doesn't have the secret sauce. Overall, guys, Honey Don't is another misfire at the hands of Ethan Coen. Outside of some impressive camera work and an entertaining performance from Chris Evans, almost every aspect of this movie feels half-baked. There are a couple of laughs along the way, but the story tries to go to way too many places and pretty much resolves nothing in the end, so prepare to leave the theater decently unsatisfied. The Coen Brothers need to get back together again like I need air to breathe, man. Honey Don't gets a Sully score of 2 stars. So that's my review of the latest solo Coen Brother outing. What do you think is the best movie when those two join forces? I absolutely have to go with No Country for Old Men, but let me know in the comments below what you think. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys at the next one.